Hey everybody, welcome to Studio 64. My name's David. I've been searching the interzones for some more science, space and tech news to share with you. And I came across this over at Daily Mail. Yes, NASA discovers a super-Earth planet and it could harbour life. This should be very, very interesting. Yes, scientists have discovered an exoplanet which could contain liquid water. Now, dubbed LHS 1140, this distant planet could even have an Earth-like atmosphere. Fascinating. As long as humans have looked up to the stars, we've been fascinated by the search for life beyond Earth. But that search may soon be over as scientists have discovered a planet which could be our best bet for finding alien life in the cosmos. Now, as usual, I'll leave the link to the main article below the video. So you can pop in, check out these embedded links, go for a bit of a deeper dive if you want beyond the main article. Makes for an interesting read, believe me. An international team of scientists used observations from NASA's James Webb Space Telescope, the good old JWST, to analyse the atmosphere of an exoplanet called LHS 1140b. Now, their observations confirmed that the nearby planet could have an ocean of liquid water and even a nitrogen-rich atmosphere, just like Earth. Now, lead author Charles Cadeau from the Université de Montréal said, of all currently known temperature exoplanets, LHS 1140b could well be our best bets to one day indirectly confirm liquid water on the surface of an alien world beyond our solar system. Yes, scientists have discovered a distant exoplanet which could be our best bet for finding alien life. Yeah, fascinating. I just absolutely love the idea. I just think it's incredible. Just to think that we've finally discovered, I mean, I suspect they're probably, there's a lot of them out there. But this is just absolutely incredible. God, I wish we could get this confirmed. This would be absolutely amazing. Absolutely stunning. Now, while we don't know what alien life would look like, scientists are almost certain that it will need liquid water to survive. Now, the exoplanet LHS 1140b is located 48 light-years from Earth in the constellation of Cetus. Come on, Elon Musk, get those rockets into gear, will you? Yes. Hurry up and make a better rocket, Elon, so we can, get out there and have a look. Stick it in a probe and we'll send a camera out there or something. This makes it our nearest neighbouring planet to exist within its star's Goldilocks zone, the region in which water can exist as a liquid. Now, this exoplanet is about 6 times the mass of Earth and orbits a small red dwarf star, roughly 1/5 the size of our Sun, at a distance cool enough for water to potentially form. Yeah, 48 light years does seem a long way away, and from our perspective, with our current level of knowledge and technology, it is. Soon it's going to 48 light years is not going to be a great distance at all. And everyone goes, oh, don't be ridiculous, David, we'll never traverse that. Well, when did we think that, getting across the other side of the planet was impossible? And then it was 6 months in a leaky boat, as the old Split Enz song goes, when Australia was first, and New Zealand were first being colonised. And just, now we fly there within a day. We can go across the other side of the world in a day. And before long, we're going to be commuting. We'll commute from my hometown of Newcastle to Sydney in New South Wales, Australia, and it takes 2.5 hours now or something like that. That's what it's going to be like, and that was unheard of even when I was a child. You'd go down the old putty road and it would take you 3.5 hours or something to get to Sydney. Then it was 2.5, all right? I think now is it 2? Something like that with the new expressway. So while that's not 20 minutes, it's certainly a big difference and a much smoother ride. So eventually one day we'll be able to go from, say, Sydney, Australia to London and do it in a couple of hours. And people laugh and say that'll never happen. Well, we weren't supposed to be able to do it in a day. Now we can. What I'm saying is that 48 light years one day will be possible for us to reach. Guarantee it. Well, here's a little video I've got here on LHS 1140b, an artist's rendition of what the planet could possibly look like. This should be exciting. Let's check it out, and we'll carry on the conversation when we come out the other side.
LHS 1140b is a rocky planet 39 light-years away from Earth. It orbits its red dwarf star LHS 1140 in about 25 days within the habitable zone. Compared to Earth, LHS 1140b is much more dense and has much more mass. Its surface gravity is 3.25 grams. The planet might contain a big amount of heavy elements, such as iron and nickel.
Well, that was incredible. I know it was only an artist representation, but that's absolutely fantastic, and I absolutely think it's incredible. I'd just love to see a world like that other than our own. I mean, I love the world we've got. I think this planet is absolutely amazing, but wouldn't it be it's tantalizing to think it could possibly be something similar somewhere else. Well, recent analysis suggested that the exoplanet was significantly less massive than an object of its size should be. Now, this left the researchers with two options. Either LHS 1140b was a mini Neptune made mostly of swirling gas, or it was a mega-Earth covered in liquid or frozen water. Yes, now, it says here, this image here, the exoplanet LHS 1140b sits within its star's habitable zone, the region in which liquid water can exist. Its large mass also gives a high enough velocity to gather a thick atmosphere, as demonstrated on this diagram of planets. Oh, I see. Atmosphere less likely, atmosphere most likely. Optimistic habitable zone. Earth. Yeah. And there's LHS 1140b, and there's Earth. Absolutely amazing. There's Mars. Yep, that falls within a habitable zone as well. Incredible. Look at these others here too. Absolutely fascinating. Love it. Now, to determine which was the case, researchers combined data from the JWST and other telescopes like Hubble and Spitzer to make the first spectroscopic analysis of LHS 1140b. Now, since certain molecules block different wavelengths of light by measuring the frequencies of light passing by the planet, we can learn what chemicals may be present. Now, their analysis suggests that LHS 1140b is much more likely to be a water world or a snowball with a rocky core, rather than a gassy mini Neptune. Now, even more excitingly, the initial analysis suggests that the exoplanet might even have a thick atmosphere, just like the one here on Earth. That would give it a much greater ability to retain heat from its star and make it more likely that it could have a stable climate. All important factors for the existence of life. And there is our beautiful home. And it's funny how I look at all these stories about space and science and distant worlds, and I see this as home. You know, even though I live in a house and I live in a city, in a town, and we go to another town and we say, oh, I'm homesick, I want to go back home. Anywhere on this planet would be home for me, you know? Whether it's Antarctica even, and being with a bunch of scientists in Antarctica, I would still be home. Or whether I'd be, London, New York, Auckland, New Zealand, Mumbai in India, it would still be home. It's hard to explain. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I try to think beyond, and expand my vision, my perception, so to speak. And this is what I think of as home. I guess you could extend it and say, well, Milky Way galaxy's home too, but this is home. Fascinating. Now, Dr. Ryan McDonald, an astronomer from the University of Michigan who worked on the paper, says this is the first time we've ever seen a hint of an atmosphere on a habitable zone, rocky or ice-rich exoplanet. Although they caution that more observations from JWST are needed, the atmosphere could be rich in nitrogen, which makes up 78% of the atmosphere here on Earth. Now, Dr. McDonald adds, LHS 1140b is one of the best small exoplanets in the habitable zone, capable of supporting a thick atmosphere, and we might just have found evidence of air on this world. Now, just like the moon's orbit around the Earth, LHS 1140b has a synchronous orbit, meaning one side is permanently facing away from a star. Oh, so it might have one of those when I did a video on recently where it has that, it's a split world like Star Trek, you know, where they got the Romulus and Remus and, you know, one of the planets is always facing the sun and the other is facing away. So there's this zone in the middle where life could possibly exist. Yeah, and one's too hot and one's too cold, you know, either side, but there's a strip down the middle. I've forgotten what that's called. If anyone can remind me, just drop it in there because I'm not an astronomer myself. But that zone, you know, splitting down a planet in the middle, very interesting. Yes, I'm just wondering if that middle-facing part, that centre strip, like an equatorial strip, would be, you know, temperatures moderate enough to have water, but on the right side they could be frozen. The away-facing side would be frozen, and the one closest to its sun would be too warm for water, it would evaporate. That would be very interesting. Very interesting. Yes, now while the researchers think the exoplanet is most likely a frozen snowball, this means there could be liquid water on the side warmed by the star. Yeah, very interesting. One side could be like the planet Hoth from Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. Definitely look that up. That's really cool. Or it could be, one side might not have anything at all. It might be completely rocky and barren due to the heat. Interesting. There we go. There's the good old JWST, the James Webb Space Telescope. What an incredible piece of technology that is. Absolutely incredible. I just love aerospace engineering and science and everything else. Imagine how smart you'd have to be to come up with something like that. That's incredible. Just love it. And this one here says, since certain molecules block different wavelengths of the light, the researchers are able to analyze the light by passing by exoplanets to work out which chemicals might be present. This diagram shows the spectrum collected from LHS 1140b. Yeah, amazing. It's amazing how you can work out chemicals in the atmosphere of another planet by these sort of techniques. It's amazing. Now, if LHS 1140b does have an atmosphere, it's likely it has a bullseye ocean, roughly 2,400 miles or 4,000 kilometers in diameter, equivalent to half the surface area of the Atlantic Ocean. And the surface temperature of this ocean could be a balmy 20 degrees Celsius or 68 degrees Fahrenheit, which is on the higher end of what sea temperatures reach around the UK in summer. Yeah, not in Australia though. Now, while this is not the first planet to be discovered within its star's habitable zone, it does give scientists one of the best opportunities for further study. Now, compared to the stars orbited by exoplanets in the TRAPPIST-1 system, the star orbited by this exoplanet is relatively calm. Now, this makes it easier to untangle the effects caused by its atmosphere from the random noise of sunspots and solar flares. The researchers say this makes it a unique opportunity to study a planet that could potentially support life. Absolutely amazing. I really think this is a fantastic thing. It's a great breakthrough, isn't it? I'm just hoping we can get more research data on it because it's going to be phenomenal once we find out. We've got to find it sooner or later. And I wonder if it's going to make human beings think that, our problems are so petty. Come on. And we'll just get together and solve the major issues of the world. We're behaving like childish, mindless, squabbling primitives. That's all we ever seem to do. And it just frustrates me. When as I say, you come back to this picture here, this is home. And we've all got to share it. And then what do? We behave like a pack of bloody children in a sandbox fighting over a toy. Fascinating. All right, well, my name is David. Thanks for joining me for another Studio 64 Science, Space and Tech News update. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you're up for it, drop a comment down below the video because I'd love to hear what you think. All right, take care. And as I always say, if you can't be good at it. And as I also always say,
a most fascinating thing happened.